Hi everyone. So I'm here to go over how you can use these cards and also how to go about choosing plants for your yard. Now, first thing I want to tell you is just I want to go over just what is on the card. There's the common name of the plant, the botanical name, and then we have the symbols here as to whether they attract bees, butterflies, the light, whether it's full sun to partial shade. You're going to see that a lot of them are categorized as full sun to partial shade, and then there's also just straight partial shade. So the ones that are in, and then there's a few that are just absolute full sun, like bougainvillea likes full sun. But for the most part, most plants in Florida will grow in partial shade. But the ones that really like the shade will not grow in the sun. So always note how much light the plants like. Okay, and now they also have the color of the flower, the flowering time, the zone, and then the whether it's a shrub, and then also the size. Right here is large. So these cards are great. Like if you, I hear people, people come to me and say, oh, I saw this plant. It's in the winter. It's got pink flowers, and it, it's pretty big, and they don't know the name of the particular shrub that they're talking about. So with these cards, you can get the name of the shrub. You can actually take this into the nursery and then ask the person, do you have this? And you're going to get exactly what you want, because it's important that you have the botanical name because that clearly identifies it. So now I'm just going to go over a little bit quickly. Like if you're, so, you can just go through all of these cards and, um, and read about the different plants and see the pictures and see what you like. But if you're trying to use them to create a garden, or maybe there's just a place in the yard where you want to put a few shrubs, first this is what I think is the easiest way to go about this. Is first you need to look at size. So we have most of these are shrubs or perennials. So we have three sizes. We have large, medium, and we have small. So we have large, medium, small. So the first thing you want to say is, hey, I want to block the view over to my neighbor. So I want something that's going to get, 6 to 8 feet tall. So that would be a large shrub. So then you can look through, I've just kind of put these in categories of large shrubs. And you can look through them and see that they get like this compact jatropha will get 6 to 8 feet tall, has a red flower. You go, oh, I might like that one. Or here's a clusia, which gets 6 to 8 feet tall, even taller without pruning. And so you can come up with some choices. And then you also have to just make sure that you have the proper sun location. So this one's full sun. All of these are full sun here. So if that's a full sun area or at least half a day of sun, then you can use those and just make a choice from these plants. And then again, you can take the card, take it to the nursery, and get exactly what you're looking for. Now, a lot of times say, "Oh, I don't use those fancy names." But the problem is that, for example, compact jatropha, it says compact, but it still will get up to 6 to 8 feet tall. Now there is another jatropha which is not the compacta, and that will get upwards of 15 feet tall. So you really don't want that plant if you're looking for something 6 to 8 feet tall, and that's why it's important to have the botanical name. Okay, so you can see you can choose, and then if you wanted to have a pollinator garden, we have a key here for all the symbols, bees, butterflies, hummingbird, birds, and then also a symbol with a leaf on it that means that the plant has attractive foliage. So you can also look on all of these and see which ones will attract pollinators, which is great for the yard. It just gives you another added part of nature. So this is the basic way to use the cards. It's always good to just kind of read through them and learn about new plants, and then also in the pack we've put together a some guides on number one. the zone map. If you don't know what zone you're in, these cards are for primarily for zone 10A, which is kind of along the coast. It's Pinellas County. It's part of Hillsborough. It goes down south to Sarasota. Also, there's parts of zone 9B and the warmer parts that you can also use these plants. But each plant has its own zone. So, but for the most part, they're all in zone 10A and warmer parts of 9B. So that's the guides. These are all downloads that you get. There's other points of before you start to break ground on a project, what do you have to look for in the yard? Like what things do you have to consider? That's a very good article. How to improve your soil. What's a really good procedure for handling the sandy Florida soil? And then this is picking your plants. Using these cards. For size, for light, for other characteristics, the pollinators. And there's also added information on the back, which is more. A lot of this is more personal information that I've done maintenance for a number of years for people, and there's specific ways you want to handle the pruning. When do you prune? How do you prune? You get a lot of information on this little card that is really vital for that plant's success. Also, we also have an article here on how to lay out the space. Most people plant plants way too close, and landscapers do the same thing. So this shows you how to do that, how to lay out the space properly so you don't have things growing up above your windows and have it to have a lot more maintenance. When you put the wrong plant or the right plant in the wrong place or the wrong plant in the right place, you will add a lot of maintenance to your garden because it's just not in the right place. So this is how to lay them out properly. And then finally, we have another guide that says, it shows you how to plant properly and the finishing touches to the bed. So there's a lot involved in here. You can pretty much use these and create a whole garden, create your whole landscape. It's going to take a little bit of study to learn all the plants and work with them. But the more you work with them, these 50 I have used over and over again. And I just did a full landscape of a full house, and every single plant except for one tree, because we don't have any trees here, they were all from this list, and they all will be successful. And that's the whole idea. There are other plants that might be more high maintenance, but these are the plants that actually work. And there are other plants, but if you have this core of 50, then you can add things as you get more knowledge to these beds. And maybe you're going to try something that is more difficult to grow, or just a little more challenging, or has to be fertilized a certain way. But at least you have a good basic landscape before you start doing that. Okay, well, I hope you have a lot of fun with this. We love your feedback, and I love to see pictures of things you plant and what plants you use, and have fun with it. Have fun with the Florida 50.